Hey, shout out my upper echelon. This your boy Upper Echelon coming to you with another banger. First and foremost, let me shout out to my man EBT, Everything Boxing. If you're not subscribed to him, you're missing out. The man be coming with the real, with the facts, and he be having the no ends. But hit my like, share, and subscribe button if you haven't. We going for a promotional push next week, and I'm gonna try to get promotion on different platforms and try to grow this brand. So make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe and notification because we go live every day. Every day we go live. And on the Upper Echelon Sports Bar, everybody has a voice. Everybody's voice matters. If you tired of being on other shows and listening to a narrative and you can't comment or you scared about the host kicking you out because you trying to express your opinions, that ain't Upper Echelon. Everybody's opinions, everybody's views, everybody has their own matter. We don't have sheep over here. We don't push narratives over here. If you got a point, you get up there and you can debate your point. Nobody disrespects each other. You come with the same energy that you get. And that's what we talking about. No, we trying to make it before the year 2024, one of the biggest platforms out there spitting the knowledge. We already got the respect of the boxers. And you know, we got the hardcore fans that's here to keep it going every day. And I'd like to shout out and respect to each and every one of y'all, especially my boy Spence Paper, Shawar Allah, AJ64, and you know, a host of many others, you know. But peace and blessings to all. Y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. We about to get in here and cook, called The Real Truth. We about to go in and delve into the fact of what really happened in the Errol, Spence, and Crawford fight. From my point of view and from what others fit to get to mention and fail to realize. But I'm about to bring it up because too many people not talking about this. And hey, the man played chess, not checkers. Bud was playing chess, Errol was playing checkers. But we about to get into it. Let's get it. One thing that everybody say, before pride comes destruction. Pride is a terrible thing. Pride has caused a lot of people to lose their life, a lot of people to fail, a lot of people just to be in situations they shouldn't normally be in. Look at these pictures right here. These pictures, you can see the difference in Errol Spence's body versus other fighters versus Terrence Crawford. What people don't realize, age, Father Time is undefeated. What you did when you was 20 ain't what you can do when you 30. And what you do when you 30 ain't what you can do when you're 40. Yes, Errol came back miraculously from the layoff and fought Danny Garcia. Then came back from another layoff and fought Ugas. These are extraordinary, very extraordinary events. Even coming back from the car crash, extraordinary. But even a cat has 9 lives. And you lose it if you don't use it. Errol he's done went 3 years before the Terrence Crawford fight. Well, he's had one fight in 3 years. If you look at him taking the time off before the Ugas fight, then afterwards, he's got in one fight in 3 years. And I don't care who you is. You see when Sugar Ray Leonard came back and fought Macho Camacho. That's no way in the world could Macho Camacho even be in the same room as Sugar Ray Leonard. But he made Macho Camacho look like a legendary fighter that day. And the same with Errol Spence. Without only having one fight in 3 years, Errol Spence looked like a shell of himself. Plus, his body wasn't used to the weight cuts and everything. You're not a young man no more. Your body's done been through things. And we seen Errol 6 months before the fight, he had a gut. He had a belly. He got back in shape. But he hasn't used to been cutting down to this weight in years. So you have to cut your body weight. You're shocking your body and expecting to be able to have your body bounce right back. You haven't did this in a while. And see, Terrence Crawford, he knew he didn't want to fight Errol Spence coming off a long layoff. That's why he took the David Avanesian fight. Because it would have been a year layoff if he wouldn't have fought. If he would have fought Errol Spence after the Ugas. So Terrence Crawford, he had a chance to knock the rust off, and then he was ready to fight Errol Spence because he got a tune-up in, and then he got to go back into another camp. You know, fighters are their most sharpest when they're coming off camps, going back into other camps to fights. That's why when fighters first get started, they be fighting back-to-back fights because you're perfecting your skill, you're sharpening your craft, you're making yourself that much greater. And see, Terrence Crawford, he did that. He was a great chess master. And then with Errol sitting there waiting 16 months for a payday, Terrence Crawford knew he had him. So he won in the negotiations. He won in the mental battle. Like, the fight is started before the fight even steps into the ring. Like I say, boxing is 80% mental and 50% physical. And Errol, he had the physical part not right. That's why Blue Ray sat there and said anything that could and would have went wrong in the training camp did go wrong. See, Errol's body hasn't cut that weight in a while. If you look, Errol looked like he only gained 5 pounds on the rehydration. His body wasn't used to that. He has to get back into the swing of things. You just can't expect to not cut weight in 16 months and then be able just to hop up and do it like that. It doesn't work like that. When I used to be 20, I used to go dunk and everything. But when I hit 30, I mean, I can still get up there, but not like I used to. Plus, I used to play basketball all day and box all day. Now I get aches and pains, and sometimes it takes me a minute to get started. And if you notice, Errol said he couldn't kick it to the next gear. It's because your body wasn't used to it. You trying to sit there and get in shape and get everything from 3 years in one training camp. You can't do that. And PBC noticed what Terrence Crawford was doing. That's why they tried to give Errol the Keith Thurman fight. And see, that's another reason why Errol's going to take a few fights before they make the Bud rematch, because Errol is not in good shape right now. Yeah, he had the Crawford fight. He had that training camp. But like I said in the earlier video, Errol need to come back and fight either Tim Kasu or Brian Castano, because if Errol can't compete on that type of level at a higher weight, then there's no use for Errol to even sit there and try, because Errol is going to have to make a statement to get fans to come back and want to watch the Crawford rematch. Me, I watch it because I'm an Errol Spence fan, and then I'm a fan of boxing. Plus, I know shit happens. Sometimes it's not your great night. And if Crawford was at the top of his game in perfect physical conditioning, while Errol was coming off a long layoff. And it ain't no excuses because Errol didn't make none. But Errol and Derrick James both know what they did wrong. They knew their pride got in the way. They knew they should have took another fight. And they signed the contract, gave away A-side status, and they know they took the hit. And now Crawford has a chance to build his name up bigger, and Errol has a way to come back for the great comeback and build it up bigger to make the fight bigger than what it was before. Because if Errol goes out there and stops a Brian Castano and a Tim Tszyu in a dramatic fashion, and Crawford takes out Keith Thurman, or if he fights Boots and takes out Boots, that makes this fight that much more bigger. Because then people are going to be intrigued and they're going to say, okay, maybe Crawford just got Errol because he wasn't in the ring or he was weight drained. So see, that adds to the mystique, because in a rematch, you need to have some type of edge, some type of mystique, something you can sell. And that's the good point to sell right there. So Errol, I wish he would have took a tune up and fought better, but he didn't. He didn't make excuses, but hey, you just ain't coming off a long layoff and thinking that you can just perform at the greatest level. And that's his problem. He had too much pride. He felt like he can do it because he did it with Danny and Ugas. But you know, life has a way of humbling people, and Errol's been humbled. And now I kind of like the fact that he got humbled, because now it's going to give him that much more fuel, fire, and passion. That way we can see what Errol Spence is really made of. I've always told people before, the best Errol is at 160, 154. I told people that 147 Errol Spence, we only seeing a fraction of what he could do. Like, we only see an immense fraction of his power. Like Dragon Ball Z Broly. With him with that shocker on his collar, you can only see parts of his power. And when Errol moves up, it'd be like him going berserk. You see more and more power. There's no depth of where he can go through. There's no limit to what his power is. Errol breaks down light heavyweights and heavyweights in sparring because he's at a bigger weight. He's at 160, 170 at sparring practice. That's Errol with his full muscle range, his full power. And that's what I'm saying. He needs to get in there, get used to this weight, enjoy the extra weight, and I eventually see Errol fighting at 160. But I want to see him get in there with Brian Castano, Tim Tszyu, and go out there and shake and bake and do what he can do. Because before the Terrence Crawford fight, if we would have said Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu or Castano, we would have said Errol Spence a walking dog on these people. It wouldn't even be competitive. And that's what we got to see. If Errol can't do what he got to do to these people right there, and at least beat them in a convincing fashion, Errol has no chance in the world of getting in the ring with Terrence Crawford. And it's either sink or swim, and PBC ain't going to hold your hand. PBC like the Spartans in 300. When a kid is born, they leave him out there outside the cap, and he got to fight his way back. And if he makes it back, then he's a Spartan. If he don't, then he just wasn't cut out to be a warrior. And Errol Spence, I feel like he got a warrior. He got the passion, strength, and the drive. And I feel like this loss is the worst possible thing to the boxing community for everybody else, because Errol Spence about to come back with the drive and the passion. That man ain't lost since the Olympics. And after that, he went on a 28 straight victory tear. And I feel like this right here is going to push him to achieve more greatness. I think he's going to come back better than ever. He's going to be back a bad mother, shut your mouth. I feel like he comes back, he beats Crawford. They get the rematch again. Like I said, it's the makers of a trilogy. That's what it looks like. You know, you got that feeling in your gut, and you be like, damn, this could be a great trilogy, and it will be a great trilogy. And then after that, then they can settle things with Canelo. But that's your boy Upper Echelon, man. I'm just letting y'all know the truth that people fail to realize, because people forget that Errol had to go through a lot of negotiations and stuff with Crawford just to get in the ring, and how long he sat out the ring, and how he was not trying to take our tune up. But hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And like I said, y'all make sure y'all share this. Y'all put the notifications on, because we go live every day. Because we're going to be a big platform right now. We done got 1,400 subscribers in 1 month, people. We growing. And peace and blessings to each and every one out there, Upper Echelon, where everybody has a voice. I'm out.